3 years I had sent that script around to the whole town of Hollywood, and everybody thought it was either stupid or boring or just gory or whatever. I knew by the time we were filming it was going to be strong.
Wes Craven had come across a few articles about some teenagers who were absolutely terrified to go to sleep.
In the middle of the night, they heard these horrendous screams and crashing, and they ran in, and he's thrashing on his bed and ran to him. By the time they got to him, he was dead. They did an autopsy on him, and there was nothing physically wrong with him. And I just thought, my God.
Wes described how he wanted to fool the audience about when the moment of reality ceased to exist and when they were actually into the dream, and how this was his goal. And that's what really intrigued me.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door.
Every time you hear that in any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you know something bad is about to happen.
Here's a guy who's been probably burned over 90% of his body, and he still wears a hat that covers some of that scarification, which is a sort of weird vein thing.
Those nails, the claws, and the scraping against the pipes.
What is that?
The idea that he's a child murderer and that she's going to avenge this terrible crime that he's committed against her own family, that's a direction that I always had inside of me.
Because he's a dream figure, he can basically do anything. He can transform himself into anything, into a phone, into any kind of creature. And so that's what makes him so powerful, because how do you resist sleep? How do you resist dreaming? He's everywhere.
Everything was a little bit jerry-rigged on our set, just because we didn't have a lot of money.
For my money, it's the revolving room scene where Tina just gets her brains bashed out on the ceiling.
There was something about the vulnerability that she was just in her underwear, and the fact that her boyfriend was trying to reach her but he couldn't. There was no explanation for how she was up on that ceiling, because this guy's in the shot too, and it just worked really strongly.
He just drags her all around the bedroom by his finger claws on the ceiling, blood everywhere, and she's just screaming. And it's just so painful, and they don't cut it, you just watch all of it.
Leatherface grunts and he makes noises. Michael Myers doesn't say a word. Jason doesn't say anything. But Freddy really has personality.
There's a reason that New Line was, and in some circles, is still known as the house that Freddy built.
Freddy really has that universal appeal where he will terrify kids kind of under the age of 10. And anyone 15 and up, he says funny jokes and they enjoy it.
And the audiences loved Freddy so much, we exploited what they loved best about Freddy, which was this cruel sort of gallows humor that Freddy had, sort of jamming teen culture back down its own throat.